right, this is interesting. So 20 years ago, 50 Cent came out with his Get Rich or Die Trying album in 2003.
Wow. It was 20 years ago.
Yeah, I know. Based on general inflation, the purchase power of 50 cents then would be worth $5 today.
Should he change his rapper name? $5.
Yeah.
$5.
What about Backstreet Boys? They'd have to change their name.
Why?
Street Boys.
Front Street Boys.
Front Street Boys.
Penthouse Boys.
All the little names like rapper names that start with little would be what?
That's such a lazy hip hop name. Little blank.
It fits a perfect template.
Yeah, copy and paste, right?
My R&B name would be Tuesday Afternoon.
There's got to be a AI generator for hip hop names.
There is one. I think one rapper used a website to find his name.
Wasn't it Childish Gambino? I think did it.
Childish Gambino, yes.
What was that? Here, let me do one now. Hip hop name generator. Rapper name generator. Okay. My name would be Mikey Payne.
Mikey.
Let's do another one. Imperial Mikey W. Really likes Mikey. Lotto Mikey.
Where does Imperial
I have
come
no
from?
idea. Let's try it. Let's try Alex. It would be Sour Ally, aka Preacher Clan. That's the most random thing I've ever heard. Another one for Alex. Maestro Piles. I don't know where.
Yeah.
Or A.Lex.
Alex?
Or-
Yeah.
I think the
put your
Wu-Tang
last-
group had the
Yep.
best names. Like
Yeah.
Method Man, Ghostface.
I think Childish Gambino put his name in a Wu-Tang name generator. That's where he got it from.
Okay.
I put Alex's last name in there. His new nickname is AC Havoc.
Nice. Okay,
That was
I'll
pretty
take
good.
That
That was
one,
pretty
yeah.
good. But Wu-Tang
Yeah.
name generator. We'll do this and then we'll start the episode. Alex. Pinkish Wildcat. It's not very tough.
It's cute.
I guess. I don't want to listen to your album though. Let's try Kojo. You will be known as Quiet Mitt. I don't. Sure.
We welcome
So you
on
got,
stage.
what, Little Mikey P or something, and AC Havoc, and what's yours? Armpit? What was that?
Alley Cat. No, you're Alley Cat. I forget what mine was. Mikey Payne.
Pinkish Alley Cat. Yeah. Mikey Payne. That's what it is.
Yeah.
AC Havoc.
Okay.
All right, I'll get into the intro. So AC Havoc's gonna.
Just start spitting some rhymes.
Greetings and fist bumps. This is the Raised Eyebrow Podcast, a show where we discuss how people just peopling can make it weird to be a person sometimes, but somebody's got to do it. And we are your hosts, Kojo, Mike, and Alex. In this week's episode, we're going to save the planet. And not just in one way, too. We're going to solve global warming, find peace between people, fight off alien threats, and even tame Mother Nature. How, you ask? Well, Hollywood, of course. As we all know, and as they believe way too much, Hollywood is more than just glitz and glamour. They know how to solve real problems. So let's move on from solving equity and let's save the friggin' planet. All right, cue the montage.
Let's go.
How are you guys?
We're good.
Bonjour. Yeah, let's solve some world problems, shall we?
Yeah, we're going to use Hollywood movies as our inspiration for how to save modern day problems.
Yeah. The same easy peasy
Yeah.
solutions you see in movies. We can do stuff too.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So we're just copy
Copy
paste.
paste.
That's all it is. That's just like how Disney writes movies.
And they're doing fantastic nowadays.
Well, this superhero movie's different. It's an origin story where they discover they're an orphan and that the real power lies within them.
Mm-hmm.
It's not come. It doesn't come. Yeah, anyways,
you got to do an origin story
to.
to the origin story when you run out of.
Yeah.
You got to do that, right? So, but it takes place earlier.
Yeah.
So.
And then when it gets too complex, you just reboot it.
No, start over again, and then do another origin story to the reboot, but then like an origin of the origin in the reboot. And then
and then because your fans get frustrated that you reboot it all the time, you have another movie that creates a multiverse that syncs them all together, and you're like, oh look, it was planned all along. They're all a part of the same multiverse, right? So all of the superheroes exist together.
And all the actors that played that hero somehow meet each other, and then there's a sequel.
Yeah.
And another prequel to those.
You guys watch too much movies.
The thing is, we don't watch any movies. Anyway, let's.
It's like a few of mine none of mine is even based on movies.
Me neither. Mine are just stupid.
That was the brief though.
I thought it was dumb solutions to really complicated problems.
Oh, okay. I'll take that. Yeah, mine are all technically dumb solutions. They're just all inspired by
all of it is supposed to be dumb.
My solutions are just as dumb as Hollywood movies. Should we jump in the first one? I'll go first. Okay, so first one is solving racism. What could go wrong, right? Okay. So the way to solve racism is to create empathy for the other, right? Because we see someone else that's not like us and kill them. But nowadays, when it comes to race, from the woke perspective, people think that the world is divided between an oppressor and an oppressed, right? So I suggest we implement a purge-style solution. So hear me out now. So for half the year, half of the population will identify as oppressed and the other half will identify as the oppressor, and they'll switch roles for the second half of the year. So like people will go about their day, and when they go shopping or whatever, they'll have like a card that says oppressor or oppressed, and then people will treat them differently because of that, and they'll feel that way too.
Right.
And after a year, when everyone has their lived experience, racism and hatred will be solved like magic. Either that or everyone will hate each other even more. Yay. What do you think?
It's amazing.
Did I solve it?
I don't know, but did you find my my notes or something?
You had that too?
You did the racism too?
It's similar, but
Well, let's hear your version of solving racism.
Because I was thinking about this. I watched a YouTube video on racism, and in the story, it's kind of like what is the race white? No one is really white, except perhaps maybe if you're like maybe German with blue eyes.
Area. Like British Isles.
And from the YouTube channel, it's like you say, for instance, like the Irish people, but then now they're considered white. But really, Irish people were back then the black people of that era.
They were the first oppressed.
Yeah, Irish people were put into slavery, yeah. And the word slave comes from Slav.
They're white as fuck.
Which was Slavic people. Yeah, which were white, yeah. Like from Romania, Austria, like modern day Romania, Austria.
Balkans.
That part of the world. That's the Arabic or Ottoman Empire took them from there, and they would bring them down to Northern Africa to build out their empire in Northern Africa.
Right.
So the word slave comes from Slav.
Yeah. Nobody knows this.
Yeah. And so technically there's no we all know the experience of being at the bottom. So but anyway, so based on the Stanford prison experiment, so like they put people in a room and then basically like investigate the psychological effects of perceived power and authority. Mm-hmm. So just like Mike, you said, this time we do a mixed up Monday. So mine is more like around like the workplace. So mix up Monday where everyone temporarily swaps their job roles.
You put the intern in charge.
We put the intern in charge, and then the CEO as the tech support.
Switch things up a little.
What's that show, Undercover Boss?
Oh yeah.
Have you seen that one?
Oh yeah.
That's interesting.
Yeah.
There was one where I was watching. I forget what it was. It was like a fast food restaurant, like a quick service restaurant, and the boss was there, and they were training with this one person, and he was just shit talking the restaurant the whole time, and like, I don't know why we do this. This is a stupid policy, and the whole time, and she's talking to the CEO of the company, and they're like, okay, and then eventually she sent him home, but apparently like the guy was fired shortly thereafter. I think she only sent him home because like there's television cameras there. But she was like, I think you need to go home and kind of think about what you're saying. He's like, I was just telling the truth.
Aren't you the janitor?
He was like, there'd be he was just like a cashier at like a fast food restaurant basically. And he was saying like how, like old people and children don't know what they want, and they're incredibly annoying. And she's like, well, they're like the majority of our customer base. Like, this is like, you know, and yeah, anyways, that show's so funny when people like just get caught for stuff like that. Just watch what you say at work. That's the moral of the story.
Yeah.
But I like your idea though, especially the Stanford prison experiment. Because where I thought you were going to go with it was, you take those people who think that they could do a better job and you put them in charge. You're like, okay, so the ism or whatever the thing that you want to happen, magically, this is now reality. So go forth and figure out your system.
Go for it.
And just kind of watch. And then the drama is like, you just watch the whole thing crumble during the show.
Dave isn't qualified to run the company.
Exactly.
There's your Hollywood script.
Oh, there'd be no power structures. And you watch like half the people are lazy and don't do anything. The other half of the people are doing all the work.
Yeah, in a way, it gets people to kind of see what goes on around, you know.
Mm-hmm. Stop complaining.
Yeah.
It's not that simple.
Yeah, it really isn't until you walk a mile in someone's shoes that you begin to realize what exactly that's like. And you never really know what it's like to be that person or see the world through their view or through their eyes. And I think we just kind of need to pay more attention to that, right?
Write the script.
That would solve all societal problems.
Yeah.
Your turn, Alex.
Yeah, there you go. We solved racism.
Yay.
All right.
Next is proxy wars. No, just kidding.
Proxy wars.
That's unsolvable.
No, that's easy. We in Canada solved our proxy war with USSR in the 70s. We just had a hockey game. Canada won, therefore we won the proxy war. Yeah.
Say sorry a lot.
Done. Yeah.
Playing hockey.
Yeah, that's how we defeated Russia. That's how Canada defeated the communists. Was we
slammed them.
Had a hockey game. Our best team versus your best team. Canada came out on top. Thank you, Wayne Gretzky. And yeah, problem solved. Was Wayne Gretzky on the team? I hope so. Okay, my history's correct.
There were few. I don't know. I can't remember. I think you're thinking of the '60s one with Paul Henderson. Anyway, we're getting sidetracked.
No, that's what it is. Yeah, I don't know. Anyways, the Summit Series, I think it was what it was called.
Okay.
So this one is for existential disasters that affect mankind. It could be an asteroid headed for Earth. We've all seen those movies. Just all war. Mother Nature, like volcanoes, epic earthquakes, global warming. Basically, whatever the threat is, we just get a ragtag group of people, like just misfits, and we just put humanity's fate in their hands. And they will save the day. Just whatever the fate is, yeah. Just the next war, natural disaster, this big asteroid heads Earth, we just get just a ragtag group of people from like Missouri and send them up in a rocket and see what happens.
So like a bunch of like misunderstood competent people.
Yeah, basically,
yeah. I've seen that movie.
Yeah, because that's like Deep Impact,
Yeah.
Armageddon, 2012. There's one about a volcano. Pretty much every war movie has this.
And
Saving Private Ryan.
yeah, and the common theme from all these movies is always Americans trying to solve global.
Oh yeah, they have to be
Yeah, they're the
American,
heroes.
and it has to have a good
For sure.
soundtrack.
They're the
Yeah.
heroes all the time. And they have like a correspondent.
There has to be Hans Zimmer playing in the background the whole time.
Definitely.
You send Hans Zimmer up on the rocket, he's just playing his piano
Yeah.
the whole time.
You got to feel inspired, but also like a little worried the whole time.
Yeah, yeah. Oh, and there has to be a love interest that's in Houston at like the main base where she's like sobbing as she's watching the rocket go, and it's that love bond that will end up making the ragtag group of misfits plus Hans Zimmer overcome whatever the threat
That
is.
pushes the plot along. And they're all kind of just weird, but like enough where they have enough in common where you root for them.
Yeah. But also, they have to be photogenic again.
Yeah, for sure.
None of these like normal looking people.
Well, there's also always like at least one person who's like older and wiser, but they've like been screwed over in the past.
Oh,
like, like a decade ago, something happened, and they're like, "No, I've seen this.
I've seen this before."
And you turn to that person.
Big chip on
For
his
sure.
shoulder.
You turn to that person.
And we put him in charge.
Later on in the movie, though, at first you're like, it's whatever. Don't listen to that guy. What does he know? And then he's like, no, I told you.
Yeah. And there's that one guy at the Pentagon who vouches for him because they did a tour in like Afghanistan together 20 years ago. Yeah, like, oh no, you gotta trust Bill. Bill's a good guy. Back me up in Kandahar.
Yeah, he's got bad temper, but he's so good.
And like he has more influence now, but Bill kind of got screwed over for some reason. He didn't sell out.
Yeah.
But he gets his chance now. Now's his chance.
Like I think that's
And
done.
he's divorced.
It solves every problem.
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay. Next problem. This is a big one. Solving politics. How do you do that?
Just
all
politics.
Okay, so nobody trusts politicians or political parties, right? So, simple proposition. I propose that every politician has to give every single speech while being hooked up to a lie detector test. So you listen to their speech and you look at the lie detector. It's like, okay, they believe in this. They're definitely lying about that. So like President Oprah might not be qualified to do a competent job, but maybe she doesn't lie about abortion as much as President Joe Schmo.
Oh, to add to that, I would do their pay is solely based upon the things that they promise. So if they promise they'll do something, they only get paid when they actually push that agenda item forward. So if they're like, I'm going to lower taxes, it's only until they lower taxes they get paid.
And if they don't do it, they get fined.
Yes, like the same way that corporations work, like CEOs,
Exactly.
right? Like their whole pay is based upon performance of the company. If they don't hit their targets, they don't
So
get paid.
you regulate politics based on lies.
Yes.
So, or like in sports when
the other one was I heard, yeah, like sports. Yeah, you have like soccer players. Some soccer players, if you score a goal, you get bonuses. You get paid per.
if you get a yellow card,
if you hit
you
certain-
get a fine, right? Technical foul in basketball.
fined, yeah.
I think it's like $1,000, a couple thousand if you get a technical foul. Yeah, so then that
So
adds
then,
up.
if you get caught lying as a politician, then you have a
You get
fine.
a fine. And what was the other thing you said?
Whatever you promise, your pay structure is based upon the things that you promise.
So there's incentives. Do your
and
job.
then- Yeah. The other one that I heard was no politician would be able to run for re-election if there was debt in the budget.
Oh.
So at the end of the year, like coming up to an election, if the country had fiscal debt, no one's allowed to run for re-election. And all of a sudden, all these debt problems
It's gone.
solved. Debt ceiling debates all the time, not a problem. They're not going to increase the debt ceiling. They're going to bring that thing right down to ground level.
Good luck with that one.
Yeah, all $33.8 trillion of that debt. More on that later.
Trillion.
Yeah. But it'll give new parties a chance to prove themselves.
Yeah.
Right? So like the pink party shows up. It's like they've told the truth the whole time. You can trust them, get all the new voters. Just overthrow the system. Problem solved. Over to Kojo.
So I have a similar one as yours. This is based on you guys know Charlemagne the God.
Yep.
It's a TV radio presenter.
Mm-hmm.
So he has this thing called the Donkey of the Day. So the title of so technically this would be a TV network or like a social media, platform or something like that, which basically public shame any political, corrupt leader.
Mm-hmm.
And the title will be the political, laughable leaders network.
Okay.
And so you bring people like that and you just public shame them for all the corruption and crazy things that they've been doing to the
it's like a database.
I mean, it's a channel. It's like a TV, station where you just public shame people for doing crazy things. Today we bring on today's topic is Mr. Whatever, and this is what he did.
So it's like CNN for failures.
Exactly.
Okay.
Yeah.
Or CNN.
We have that already though. It's Twitter or X now. Yeah. By the way, follow us on X. The Race
We're active
Eyebrow.
there.
Tweeting and stuff. You could win a free listen to our podcast.
No expense.
Yeah.
Cool. Alex?
That's cool though, yeah. Definitely pretty much all of the internet is all for public shaming apparently, so whether that has solved any of our problems remains to be seen.
Probably made more problems.
Yeah. So just because I teased the debt, I'm going to propose a solution on how we can solve the debt. So the debt is 33.8 trillion. This is the U.S. national debt.
Do we have one for Canada?
So, not as much. We're in the billions. Just remove a few decimal points. So this solution is popularized by Hallmark movies. And so the plot of half of the Hallmark movies are there's a town in crisis, and the way that they will save the town or the local pumpkin patch is by having a bake sale. And that solves the problem. So I propose, quite simply, that we have a bake sale to pay off the national debt. Simple. I even did the math. So if we sell muffins for $3 each, $1 to pay for the materials, cost of labor, muffin mix, the chocolate chips, and then we have $2 of profit, we need to sell 16.9 trillion muffins to pay off the national debt. It's very simple. It works out to 2,102 muffins per person on the planet. Or if we just keep this local to the United States, that's 50,903 muffins for every U.S. citizen.
That might work. Muffins.
Yeah, it works in a Hallmark movie. They save the pumpkin
What if
patch.
people don't
We could pay off the...
buy the muffins? Does that present a problem?
Why? Who does not like
you
muffins?
force people.
Monsters. That's who.
But yeah, banana nut, chocolate bran muffins. You can put icing on it. What else you got? You got walnut, almonds,
Classics.
almond butter on it. Yeah.
Yeah. People love muffins, I guess.
You could do like a marble. If you're gonna eat 50,000 of these things, we can add some.
Think of all the donuts people buy on a daily basis.
That's true. Yeah. The one thing to not mention with this policy is that if you do eat 50,903 muffins, you may struggle with obesity at the end of it. So there will be a massive cost to the healthcare system in the United States.
Well, not if it's one muffin per person.
Yeah, I mean, we could expand it to the whole planet and everyone gets 2,112 muffins, which would, if you eat 4 muffins a day, you can do it all in a year. So
It's got to be like a storage system for the muffins so they don't go bad.
yeah,
Whatever.
There'd have to be multiple bake sales to keep them fresh, right?
Yeah, that's okay. As long as we get rid of debt or whatever.
Yeah.
Problem solved.
Yeah.
Next one. Okay. Next one is solving pollution. Easy, right?
Mm-hmm.
So this one specifically solving plastic pollution. And funny enough, this is a real one. This was taken from listverse.com. Great website, by the way. Yeah. Big shout out to listverse.com. Check them out. They deserve it. So they propose plastic eating mealworms. I don't know if you've heard of these worms. My proposal is to clone these freaking things, these freaks of nature. So, okay, a little context. Every year in the United States alone, the U.S. produces 33 million tons of plastic. Terrible for the environment, obviously. And unfortunately, only 10% of that is recycled. And with so much plastic being manufactured every day, this non-biodegradable material has become the biggest contributor to global pollution. Thankfully, though, scientists might have found the solution to this pressing global problem. Surprisingly, the answer does not lie in some modern device or newly developed substance. The solution can be found in microorganisms living in the guts of these small, brownish, squirmy mealworms. I'm reading this off of Listverse, obviously. So researchers Yoon Yang and Yu Yang of Beihang University and Wei-Min Yu from Stanford University discovered that mealworms are capable of digesting styrofoam and other forms of plastic. In their research, the scientists found that 100 mealworms can consume between 34 and 39 milligrams of styrofoam and plastic every day. Surprisingly, the researchers also discovered that mealworms which live on a strict styrofoam diet were just as healthy as mealworms eating a normal diet of bran. Revolutionary study, of course, and this was published in the Environmental Science and Technology paper. It also showed that mealworms are capable of transforming the plastic they have consumed into biodegradable wastes, which can then be used as fertilizers for plants and crops. Crazy stuff. Another fun discovery is that cockroaches are also capable of eating plastic.
Yikes.
I know, but they're not able to turn it into biodegradation. So screw the cockroaches. Mealworms are the answer. Clone those things. Done.
I'm trying to imagine, like,
wow, that's fascinating.
Yeah,
trying to
real.
imagine like the whole world being like infested with like worms.
And well, one problem would be, do you like throw these things in the ocean? Are they able to swim? Because a lot of plastic's in the ocean. Or do we just not dump it in the ocean and just like create like a pit of cloned mealworms and just feed them the plastic? I don't know. The point is, clone them.
Yeah, I wonder how you would do that.
Sorry?
Yeah, I mean, there's definitely a way to do it.
Gotta be a
for
way.
sure.
But if they can swim, that'd be awesome.
Yeah.
Swim and eat. Anyway, that's one out of left field, but thought it was interesting.
That's
It could definitely be a Hollywood movie.
it's very interesting. Yeah. The podcast was about stupid ideas to modern problems.
This one's actually
not real ideas to modern
this
problems.
one's actually decent, right?
You have
Yeah.
to add in a little bit of some, practical solutions once in
Yeah.
a while.
Yeah, I don't know how
guess
practical
so.
cloning them would be, but I'm sure there's a way.
Yeah.
I'm sure there's a way.
Hey, they'll breed.
Yeah, well, yeah, just
They're well fed.
let it happen naturally, I
Yeah.
guess. That could work too.
Yeah. Let Mother Nature do her thing.
Next.
Yeah. So this one is actually really good because I think the way in which we're solving climate change is not the best route,
I disagree.
especially
I'm joking.
like everyone that is talking about climate change, some way, somehow, gets from point A to point B, either with a car or an airplane. Can you imagine if they're doing a conference in Miami? They're going to walk. They're going to take a private jet or something.
Yeah. Yeah.
So we have to come up with a strategy that kind of like, shame people for, polluting or overusing like electricity and things like that. So, remember like jaywalk?
Like jaywalking?
Yeah, jaywalking.
Yeah.
Like the name Jay is like somebody who's from like the, rural area. Is not well educated. So doesn't really know about the city and things like that. So they just walk across streets without. So then they came up with the word jaywalking to kind of like shame people for.
I didn't know that. I thought it was just like the shape that you cross the street in.
Yeah. So the name is like the J, which is like it's like the bad way of calling someone at that time.
Yeah.
So jaywalking is like a way to kind of shame people for crossing the street. So then we come up with a name like that. And I came up with Wat Guzzler.
What guzzler?
Yeah. It's kind of like just,
What guzzler?
Nice.
Shame people for like,
like
wasting electricity or
That could work.
polluting the world with whatever.
Yeah, make it a hashtag.
Yeah.
Let it go viral. How do we get this on TikTok?
There was in Davos they had like a climate thing, like they all gathered in Davos in Switzerland to talk about like how to save the world and the environment, and everybody who arrived there took a private jet.
Did they solve it? Did they get the solution?
Well, clearly they don't understand the first step of how to like fly economy, take a train. Or drive.
Where's Greta?
That's maybe a
Where's
start.
Greta
right?
Thunberg or whatever?
Yeah.
Let her say stuff.
I mean, to her credit, like she travels around the world on a sailboat, so it's she does practice what she preaches.
Oh, really? Yes. Like it's on a sailboat?
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah, she doesn't fly.
Yeah,
Yeah,
that's nice.
To my knowledge, she doesn't fly. Unless if she
That would
does,
take
I guess
a
she
long
does
time.
economy.
Yeah.
Oh, well,
good old Greta. I won't pick on her.
Yeah.
I have a lot of thoughts on that one.
Well, then we need a name to praise her. Like, hey, go Greta.
She has like, because I mean, I guess to like we just complimented her, so I guess to like
everybody else is a Wat Guzzler.
Yeah.
Hashtag.
Okay, so for the next one, this one actually still sticks with the environment. So it's kind of funny how all three of us came up with solutions how to save the environment, which
it's important.
Kind of needs
all
it.
the
I
classics.
Guess.
Yeah,
it is important. Yeah. So usually, in disaster movies, there's always like that parent who doesn't have time for their family. Then the disaster strikes, and then they have to like battle their way through the disaster to be reunited with their family. So that's what happens. Yeah,
it's true.
Every time. There's like Dennis Quaid, I think it was, in the 2012 movie, and then at the end of the movie, the disaster's over. The world's a better place. Whatever was problematic,
it's gone.
It's solved. Like Independence Day, same thing. Will Smith got reunited with his family. Aliens left. So
he's a better father now.
Yeah, he's a better father. Well, maybe not. His marriage is shot, but he's a better father.
Yeah, that's the real life version.
Too soon. I think that what we should do as humanity is we just have a list of dysfunctional families, and whenever there's a disaster, we get them to try to reunite, and that will solve the disaster because it happens in every single Hollywood movie. And so because we are good Samaritans, we will put that list together. Just email us at info@theraisedeyebrow.ca or DM us on Instagram @theraisedeyebrow.podcast, and we'll just get a list going of people who are dysfunctional. I'm kind of curious, see if anyone actually would respond. And next time that there's actual disaster, we'll reunite you with your family, and the world will be saved.
Yay!
Yeah, we're doing our part.
We are heroes.
Yeah.
Okay. Last one from me. This is a weird one. I don't think this would ever happen, but it's something I think we should propose. So I think there has to be a way to solve economic problems during a pandemic. So I think we should totally try to give out the lowest interest rates possible to everybody during a pandemic, and that way we can stimulate the economy. And people would definitely qualify for buying houses, right? So more stimulation of the economy. And we'll worry about any like potential inflation and fraud and things like that later on. And like we totally shouldn't think about potential inflation problems until like years down the line. I don't think anything bad would happen in that instance. I just think just give out low interest rates and go from there. What do you guys think?
Put a lot of money into the economy too, so that people have money to spend.
Right.
And the fact that economists might say that it would devalue the dollar, they don't know what they're talking about, right?
No, don't listen to them.
Yeah,
definitely
don't
listen
to them. Yeah.
Listen to us.
So we put a lot of money into the economy, but then you shut down businesses too, so that only certain businesses can actually operate and function, right? So you have
like the big ones.
Yeah,
the
just the big ones. Yeah, the little small ones, you don't need those. Just the big ones.
Yeah, that could work.
The ones who are actually able to flex and bend with market shifts. Yeah, so you have high amount of capital in the environment, low interest rates, and you create policies where the little guy can't compete. So you essentially reduce competition in the economy.
I don't think this would ever happen in real life.
No,
but I think as part of one of our solutions, no, this definitely happened in real life. This all happened. It's happening right now.
It's called today.
We can't afford groceries. Everything's expensive. Little burgers at McDonald's are like $15.
Well, I don't know what your problem is, Mike, because our prime minister said, quote, "The budget will balance itself." So what's the problem?
Yeah.
In Canada, our budgets, according to our prime minister, are sentient and can balance themselves. They're AI somehow.
Great core strength.
AI budget.
AI budget.
Great core strength on these things.
Yeah. Trudeau probably got AI explained to him by Kamala Harris.
What was that speech again? So stupid.
Well, you see, AI is not just two letters. It stands for artificial intelligence. Actual quote. Not a deep fake.
And she goes on for like a minute just saying nothing. Learns from machine learning.
Yeah. Based on Mike's earlier suggestion where politicians are their pay is performance based. Yeah, based upon Trudeau saying the budget will balance itself like 6 years ago and where our current fiscal budgets are today. Yeah.
The lie detector test for politicians. Well, there's a loophole in that one because maybe technically they might not be lying, but if they don't know what they're saying, then they're a lie. They could just say anything, even though they're not lying. It won't make sense anyway. So.
Yeah. I think the two politicians that be immune to that will be Biden because he'll just like fumble his words. So it'll screw up the lie detector because it just blah, 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 blah. The lie detector's like, I don't know.
Looks like he's telling the truth.
Yeah.
Doesn't make sense, but he's talking.
Yeah.
That's good.
The lie detector's like, I don't know. I don't know what he's saying, but the fact that he's smelling that kid's hair is kind of creepy.
So good.
And then the other move that you could do to beat the lie detector is you could just pull a Mitch McConnell and just freeze and just stare at the camera.
Just 1,000-yard stare into nothing. Good times.
This one is kind of like the movie Inside Out. And so, I mean, so mental health it's a very important topic. You know, we can't really make fun of this, but it's something that needs to be addressed. And there's so many kinds of mental health. And I don't think a lot of people understand the full spectrum of mental health. So my solution to addressing societal problems with mental health is just like in the movie Inside Out, where you have like different colors representing different things. You have what we'll call this the mood monster parade, similar to like like Caribana or the gay pride. We have like this time it's like monsters, and each in a like in a very friendly way we represent different emotions as monsters, and then addressing the mental health issue.
Interesting. So then people get like their own like parade float. So like you have like the anxiety folks on one float,
right?
And then like
they're all anxious about it. Just like
it's like, oh, the depression's got a strong one this year. And
then you
like,
have the people who struggle
antisocial group.
Yeah, yeah, antisocial. They're all distant from each other.
They didn't show up for some reason.
The people who struggle with motivation didn't bother to do anything.
And like
the parade's just so dysfunctional.
This would be the weirdest parade. Is this? If this was a Hollywood movie, would it be a comedy or? You could make it anything.
Yeah, you could make it anything. Yeah.
Rom-com, drama.
It'll be the next Marvel movie.
Yeah, the prequel.
To
some hero movie. Or Inside Out.
Out, yeah. That was actually a good movie. Apparently they're coming out with a sequel.
Oh yeah, I heard about that.
Yeah.
I thought it was out already, but maybe not.
Maybe I don't watch kids movies, but could be out.
Why not?
I saw the.
You think you're too good for?
I do actually. I do think I'm too good for kids movies. Yeah. Yeah.
Sounds like you need your own parade float. I don't know what the disorder would be there. Narcissism.
Narcissism. Bunch of people just fighting for who's in charge.
That float would be big.
So mine is, I think, because I'm just going to cue the music right now, is I think that everything should just be done with a montage. Just anything we need to do in life, we just put a montage to it. And then it just makes
in
things...
slow motion?
Yeah, slow motion, close-ups. You got like aerial shots, drone shots. Yeah, all the different shots.
Running around the house, doing paperwork in an office.
Just going for a jog.
Printing things.
Yep.
Reading things. Yeah, jog. Gotta have the jog montage.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like, I think that's how we should do things. So, like, next time there's a pandemic and the scientists need to make the vaccine, they just do a montage. They just put music behind it. And, yeah, because it makes everything better.
Yep. Like, just people in a room talking with music.
Yep.
That works.
Hans Zimmerman?
Yeah. Yeah. Actually, the way I think, like,
motivational.
this is, if I'm ever manager of a team, or correction, if anybody ever trusts me enough to manage a team, I think the way that I'm going to like do onboarding for people is the same way that they do opening credits for TV sitcoms. Like people come in and you see like the shots of them and it says the name. That'd be so funny. Here's the people, here's all your team you're going to be working for. They're like, John Smith, project management.
You'd have to update that video though.
Oh yeah.
Leave the company.
Yeah, I know. You're just constantly like shooting the video and re-editing it.
It's like, why is John still in this? Left years ago.
Sure, like AI, we could just kind of like finagle something together.
Yeah. You could do like still images rather than like a video.
Yeah,
it's much faster.
That's true.
Everyone gets like their own avatar.
Yeah.
This is Tracy.
Yeah.
Get the music going.
Tracy Simmons.
Oh, like WWE. You just announced pyrotechnics go off.
Glass shatters.
Yeah. So anyways,
Bill's getting the coffee.
Yeah. That's how we're gonna save the world.
Follow us on the social medias.
Yep.
Raised Eyebrow Podcast. And remember, kids, the road to success is always under construction.
Just like Toronto.
Gun blast.